Would you hang on? We haven't started yet.
Oh.
Moot point, an issue which no satisfactory answer is found.
This is all a moot point.
The meatloaf! We want it now! The meatloaf! Ma, the meatloaf!
Like a cow's opinion.
I've had it with this dump! Got no food, got no jobs, our pets' heads are falling off!
This is all a moot point. Doesn't matter.
Yo, everybody. Welcome to the Moot Points podcast. I'm your host, Patrick Moote, here with my brother, Brian.
I like it. You're letting the music ride a little bit. You're letting people have the Nirvana Nevermind experience.
I don't know if people listened last time, but I jumped on it a little too hot, and Brian got after me for it, so I actually, on purpose, I did that on purpose.
It was constructive criticism. You know, you don't have to come flying in with like a monster truck announcer with Sunday, Moot Points episode.
I feel like that's your move. That's what you do.
That's
yo,
not,
yo, yo. And I did say yo, too. Joke. I need to come up. We should put a Twitter poll out. What should my, catchphase be for opening the show?
Your catchphrase should be like, sorry.
Hi.
Nope, not
hi.
Not into it. Not into hi.
I like the hi.
I'm on chill mode today, man. I'm on
Brian
the couch.
Brian's sitting on the couch. He refused to get up off the couch and sit at a desk. He's leaning the.
Nope. I took some CBD oil earlier, and I had a beer, and now I'm just I'm the king of chill. Me and Bosworth are on the couch in the Shady Center studios, just hanging out. Lot to cover today.
I really wish that I had some Rastafarian music to play right now. Maybe I'll pull some.
You can probably find something. Anything by Bob Marley or Post Malone. You got Post Malone, don't you?
That doesn't work. Post Malone's not
I'm just gonna filibuster while you find it. Well, listen, man. I feel like let's be comfortable. If I'm on like a kind of a CBD body high, which by the way, this CBD stuff is amazing.
CBD body high. I don't even think that's a real thing.
It is a real thing. I looked it up. I don't have a tolerance for the marijuana. The weed, Pat. I don't have a tolerance for the weed. So a little bit of CBD, boy.
Boy, right near
Bamba clock goes a long way, man.
So Brian is
What
convinced.
are you playing? What in the hell is this?
I have no idea.
Hold on. Are you playing the commercial?
I don't know what that was.
Wow, that was not we want some real Bob Marley in this thing.
I mean, I'm just on Best of Rasta.
Listen, man. That was not Rasta. You were playing the commercial, man. You should have hit skip that.
I don't know how PC your accent is.
Oh, is it racist to do a Jamaican accent? There we go, dude.
We got Captain Chill in the house. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Moot Points podcast. I'm Patrick Moote, your host. Here with me today is Captain Chill on the couch. Just CBD'd out of his brains.
Captain Chill is too much pressure. I want to be the lieutenant commander of Chill. I want to be I don't want to be a captain. I want to be the second in command. That's how you effectively chill. You can't effectively chill when you run things.
To be fair,
I don't run things anymore on this show. You run things on this show. Patrick's doing real weed, but he gets a pass because he pulls the C card, and also it's legal in Southern California.
C card, baby.
It's recreationally legal in Southern California. So let's talk about weed stores real quick, because I've never actually been in one. Well, no, I've been in one, and it was still shady, and I got weird.
I'll bring the rest
I got scared about it. I got scared about it. It was a weird one in Pasadena, and they had this weird room you had to go sign in.
You didn't even go in. You guys, it was too cold inside. Yeah, we're back.
Technical difficulty number 2.
Number 2.
Pat,
so many technical difficulties.
You're killing my CBD body high.
Whatever.
By frustrating
First of all, that's not even a real thing. God damn it.
Yes, it is. We've covered this, and it is. It's not my fault that you've been smoking weed for 20 years of your adult life. Here's my point.
That's actually right on.
My greater point of this entire conversation about weed stores is that you got to make them mainstream. Your weed stores are shady. They look shady to the non-weed buyer who's trying to get into casually check out CBD.
I mean, what would you rather it look like? Like, what is your
Ralph's
ideal?
grocery store. I want it to look like a grocery store.
You want it to look like a grocery store.
I want to be able to go to the produce section and pick out weed.
When the whole thing would be a produce
But see,
section.
here's the thing. You weed smokers have no idea that they look so shady because it's not shady to you. Because you've been buying weed from way shadier
I'm
situations.
almost more comfortable
for
buying
18
weed
years.
from a person in an apartment.
I would be too. I didn't like the weird. I didn't know when we went in this weird place in Pasadena, if we went through this side door after we signed up with our ID, if there was going to be just Russian roulette and cockfighting and just weird, random, illegal activities.
Honestly, what you're saying right now sounds like the greatest weed store ever. It's like
not if you've never purchased weed before. I think you got to wrap your head around the fact that you are a veteran, Pat. And to be successful in the weed game, you have to bring in the new customer.
You have to branch out.
And the new customer is me.
Yeah.
Okay? And I'm not going into some weird store where the room you walk into is way too big. There's a couch way too far away from what looks like a bank teller window. And you have to slide your ID under. You have to do all this weird stuff. And then they buzz you into a back room. I'm not back there to play Russian roulette or whatever the hell you do in that back room. I don't know. So then instead I left.
It's just a bunch of weed.
How am I supposed to know?
You go in the back room and find out. For Captain Chill, you're not very chill.
No. Well, Captain Chill is frustrated now because you hit the spacebar with your button 19 times in your Brokeback Mountain jacket.
Yeah, I've got a big jacket.
I feel like you can dress. You
I'm
can
cold.
stick around right at your house.
I'm cold.
You can adjust that. You know, they have buttons for
I know,
that.
but then it gets too hot. So I just intermediary. I just wrap myself in.
At what point does the chemo card or the cancer card is that stop being a valid excuse?
Well, I get more than a week. Okay.
Okay. Well, what's the countdown?
I don't know.
I know what realistically.
I don't know.
The
It
amount
depends.
of time where you can be like, oh, I'm too hot, I'm too cold.
So for anyone who doesn't know, I finished chemotherapy on Thursday of last week. So I'm now officially done. Did 6 months of chemo, and I'm officially done now. And this came up this weekend, and I got really defensive about it. But I had a couple buddies be like, you can't play the cancer card anymore. Like, you can't say you have cancer anymore. And I got like really upset because I don't know when it stops.
Right.
But I still actually had cancer. You know what I mean? Like.
Well, I think it's
so it's still a part of my identity now.
No. It's the difference is not that you have to stop saying you had or have cancer or whatever the nomenclatures are for the description. It's more like at what point in time do we stop allowing you to say like, no, I don't feel good. I'm not going to go out tonight. I have cancer. Like when does that wear out? And granted, you're right. We're only a week away, I think it's heads up.
I think I get a month.
A month?
I mean, I did 6 months of chemo. It's going to take a minute before I feel normal again. I still haven't pooped in like a week.
Well,
today.
I mean, that happened. Did you do it today?
A little.
A little.
It takes a minute to get it moving again.
To get like the.
This is not good podcasting.
It takes a while. It's like trying to start a weed eater you haven't used in a long time. You got to prime that pump.
Yep.
Give it a couple cranks. What do you mean this isn't a good show? This is a fantastic show. You're the one who hit the space bar with your elbow.
I know, but now we're just talking about me being constipated.
Yeah, but that's interesting. Do you not know what interesting is? Maybe you shouldn't host this thing.
I guess me being constipated isn't interesting to me. If somebody else was.
Well, if you were just constipated because you had a crap diet, then it wouldn't be interesting. It's interesting because, I don't know, the thing you were just talking about, the 12 rounds of chemo over 6 months. Mm-hmm. And ironically, now I'm arguing for you being able to blame things on cancer still. And a second ago, I was trying to pin you down on a date that you can't
here's a new
anymore.
thing that my therapist brought up last week was the idea of potentially having some side effects of PTSD.
Ooh. Hey, can you play some music? We're going to get deep. Can you play some deep music? So, Pat, I press Pat every show. We got to come up with some music for this. What did Pat learn in therapy this week?
Oh, what did Pat learn? Yeah, you do get me on that.
Because we kind of
I always
digging
bring
deep
up
about
my therapist. I love therapy. I think everybody should go to therapy.
Well, yeah, well, for someone who loves therapy, you sure don't like talking about it as much.
Well, because then you're not afraid to then like question me about my commitment issues. And,
well,
like,
I mean, that's what a good co-host does on a show. You throw something out there. Listen. You threw me a lob, and what did I do? I dunked that crap.
You Giannis'd it. You all-star gamed it.
I just, boom, threw that in the hole.
Smash.
And I said, you know what, Pat, let's talk more about your commitment issues. So what did you learn this week in therapy, Pat?
What were we just talking about? Chemo, cancer brain.
Oh, your PTSD.
Oh.
Because you admitted to me the other
day.
day.
The idea that some of the effects that I'm going to feel from this are going to be more, like some of the emotional side, and mental side effects are going to be more long-term than just like, you don't just all of a sudden like it's not like the doctor's going to be like, hey, good news, like you're pretty much cancer-free at this point. You can go back to living your life normal.
Right.
This still happened. It's still like rattled me to my core.
Well, I likened it to I think the guilt you have is for anybody that survived a life-changing, life-threatening. I think there's some similarities in that, right? Like, let's say you take people who survive like a social, civil type injustice situation, right? Like, let's liken it to the Parkland survivors, because that sounds like a fun comparison. Right?
Okay. I don't know if I'm comfortable going down.
Let's go down this road. It worked well for Louis C.K. recently. Let's see.
Let's just have this fun.
No. My thing is though is that there has to be, and I don't know for a fact, but I would have to guess that some of those survivors, who we have, Emma Gonzalez, David Hogue,
sure. Ones we've never heard of.
Honig or whatever.
I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, but there's Parkland survivors on both sides of the gun control issue. There are kids that are more right wing, and they're like, "Hey, we need more guns." It wouldn't have happened with more guns, though. We know from watching security footage.
If I had a gun, I would have saved everyone.
I could honestly tell you this: if I have a gun, the odds of me shooting myself are staggeringly higher
when
than
my
me
hands are just shaking
or just pulling
uncontrollably.
My thing is, I'm always afraid that I'm going to pull it out of the holster and pull the trigger too fast, and then just put one right in my foot.
Yeah,
just shoot. The definition of shot yourself in the foot. So my greater point was, and I think this is worth exploring. I think that there is a level of guilt that people have who survive things and see other people not. Because there is this level of like, how did I get lucky? What was the dice roll here? They had this. Am I going to be in that situation down the road? Am I not? But for right now, I can see that my body is responding and I'm healthy, and I feel bad for the people who didn't make it.
Honestly, right away, as soon as I was done, the one thing that would like choke me up immediately was talking about the idea that there are other people who are not okay.
Right.
Because now I understand what they're going through too. It's like, I always had hope. Like there was always hope for me. Like we caught it early. Never once were the doctors kind of showing this kind of like, hey, batten down hatches for like, but the worst case scenario. That said, it was stage 3. It was in the lymph nodes. It could have easily spread, and it still could. Like,
okay, hold on. Like my point is that they think they caught it early, and of course, like all signs say yes, but once they find it in other lymph nodes, it means it's traveled, and like in all reality, you don't know exactly what that means. That's why you did 12 rounds of chemo. If they were like, oh, nailed it.
They told me on round 8, like 11 too, that most people only make it through 8.
What do you mean, like make it
like
and
on
just
number
say,
11?
I'm done with this?
Well, and then the side effects have just become a little too much, and they have to quit. They have to tap out.
I mean, I didn't know that was an option.
I didn't either. And then they told me on 11. And I was like, I would have quit at 8.
That feels funny. That's funny. That's like, oh man, most people will make it to 8. Wait, whoa.
That's a thing?
But that also
all 12.
But now that you say it, it also is kind of, remember when the doctor told you that you should just get your whole colon removed, and then another doctor's like, no, we'll remove the part that's got infected lymph nodes with colon cancer cells. And then it's like, how is there that discrepancy? How is there that difference between, like, that doesn't make sense to me still. How one doctor can say, let's just take the whole colon out. Who cares if you have diarrhea for life?
And the other one's like, why would you do that?
Why would you do that? So to me, it's like, one doctor's like 12 rounds. The other one's like, hey, get away with 8. Like, who? Okay, what? Like, who the hell is right?
Well, and so to not make this whole podcast about cancer, how long do I get to play the actual C card? I think my time's running out. I think I have
to be tired. I'm not sure. Like to be tired.
To claim to be late to things or bail on things. So that's it. How long before I can't bail on things anymore and blame the C card? Because there was a ton of times where I was just bailing because I was bailing.
Right.
I would have bailed.
Well, you're tired though. I mean, you might feel tired. Sure. I think as long as you have.
I think I have a month.
No, I don't think there's a time. I think until you get your stent removed. Once you get your stent removed, right now, until you get that removed, you still have a medical apparatus in your body for chemotherapy. I still have
a piece of plastic in my chest that is a tube that goes down into my heart.
Yeah.
That they use to plug me into the chemotherapy
It would seem pretty reasonable that as long as you got the gear...
I'm bionic, baby.
You still got the excuse, right?
It's true.
Like, you still have the hardware in your body. So until you remove the hardware... I think
so. The hardware should be out, and I want it out. So the hardware, I'm not going to sit on the hardware just to use this, just to benefit from the C card anymore. It'll probably come out in like late March, probably early April.
Okay, so I guess like
probably early April because they have to put me under for that.
Early April, so early April probably. You're thinking that
early April.
Then the C card excuse.
So if anybody who's out there who's listening, if I bail after April,
that's just because you don't like
once the stint's out. It's just because
before you get out here though, what did you learn about the PTSD stuff of the of cancer?
Not a whole.
Or what
lot
are you exploring with your therapist?
What I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna try and join like a support group, like a Hollywood cancer survivor.
Is that a group where you survivors support each other, or do you support people going through what you went through?
I'm not sure.
Is it both?
This was just something I decided when I was driving earlier. I was like, that's what.
Is there one of those groups?
I don't know.
You have to get on.
If anybody knows about a group, a cancer support,
there's a lot of people who do it.
Because I'm sure, like There is stuff. Like, honestly, like, I feel like I had this incredible sense of purpose when I was diagnosed with cancer. Now that's gone. It's strange.
You know what's interesting
it's a
about
weird
that?
feeling.
That happens to a lot of people. It's happened to people. And I think to a certain extent, like when our father was in prison, it was very easy to get used to the kind of attention you got from prison dad. Oh my God, you're doing such a great job with your. Yeah. Oh, Brian,
well, it becomes a part of your identity. It's like
it really does. But that's a bigger question for people who get super wrapped up.
Who am I now?
Who are
How
you
do
now?
I follow
but also,
this up?
So when you get wrapped up in the accolades from the good you're doing versus the good you're doing itself, at what point has it become, hey, I don't really care about this organization. You know what I do this for? Secretly, deep down inside, the Instagram likes on my post.
Yeah.
Because that can be addictive, man. I mean, I think that's a brand new phenomenon where you don't really care what you're like. You're not in this for the love of the game. You're in it for the likes. Whoa.
Yeah.
Some serious stuff right there.
I know.
Talk about it with your therapist next week.
And with that, we're moving on. Moving on to the next topic, which I'm not sure. You said you had a bunch of stuff.
Oh, I got topics.
I mean, we could talk about Murder Mystery Weekend.
Let's talk about that towards the end.
Okay.
Because we're gonna have another show this week. This is a 2-show week.
This is a 2-show week.
I want to talk about traveling. I want to get your opinion on something. A couple things, actually. I have 2 issues that I feel like need to be discussed very seriously. And I'm debating on writing a rule book for traveling. Now, one of them is not part of the rule book. One of them is this. How are people allowed to get just hammered in the emergency exit rows? And granted, I've done it numerous times. I just thought about the other day. I was flying to Atlanta, and I was in the Delta Comfort section. Got an upgrade, but it was the emergency exit row, which is a double whammy of comfort, right? I got the extra legroom because of comfort, and also because it's an emergency exit row, and I get free drinks, and I was getting hammered.
So you were doing this?
Yeah. And I thought to myself, well, this seems a little irresponsible. Just crushing vodka sodas. I took a pledge when we got on this flight.
Yeah, that
I would help in the case of an emergency. I can't help anybody right now. I'm 5 vodka sodas deep. Well, I mean, 5 vodka sodas deep after a couple
that
at
might
the
make
airport.
you more brave.
I mean, I'll save myself.
Okay. So maybe what you're pointing out is just how little the exit row person matters.
It means nothing.
You're all dead.
Yeah, for sure.
Everybody's dead.
It's all, what I thought to myself was, oh, this is a technicality. Like, legally, they just have to do something like this. Like, are you willing to help in the event of emergency? Yeah, by crushing all your free drinks. And if I'm closest to the window, if we somehow miraculously happen to survive this, if Sully Sullenberger lands us in the Hudson, I'll be the first one out, and I might row to shore on that floating door.
That wasn't his real name, was it?
I think it's Sully Sullenberger.
Really?
Pretty sure that might not. I know it's Sully. It might just be Captain Sullenberger, and they call him Sully. And I think that was his first name. Sully Sullenberger.
We're just gonna roll with Sully Sullenberger. I was gonna Google it, but I'll just leave that.
So that's my first thing. I think that there needs to be a poll put up on Twitter. Can you get hammered in emergency exit row after you've already raised your hand and said, I would not like to be relocated? And would you give someone side eye if they said, you know what? Gotta be honest. You just asked me if I'd be willing and able to help. I'm willing and I'm able currently, but I plan on taking about a half dozen vodka sodas to the head on this flight because they're free. I gotta be honest, in about 3 hours, I am going to be absolutely useless. I will probably have trouble deplaning through the regular door, let alone the side flap when we're floating down a river.
Man, whoever the pilot is who lands in a river, I guess that's what
Sully did.
Yeah, but that's a big risk.
Do you know that after Sully did that, I watched the movie and
Sullenberger,
my man Sully, he landed in the river, and then they accused him of being like an alcoholic, and they were they thought that he screwed up and had to land in the river. They thought that like, oh, you drunk ass, like you blew it, and then you landed in the river, and now you're not a hero, you're a habitual drunk who shouldn't be flying airplanes.
Yeah, sure.
Just food for thought, man. Next time you're in the emergency exit row.
Sure. I mean, honestly, like my personal opinion is all of the safety precautions that they give you on the plane, like a life jacket and a seatbelt, and like don't stand up at these times, and like there's some of those things where, like, yeah, sure, there could be big turbulence that rocks you out of your seat and you hit your head on the ceiling and, like, break your neck or something like that. But in general, all of those things are just for show. Because if your plane goes down, you're so dead.
You're dead.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're way dead.
sometimes it'll be like, well, in case of emergency and we have a water landing. Most of the time there's a water landing, they'll be like, hey, there's the crash site. And you look down and just see one piece of metal floating on the water. Yeah. I'm like, where did the rest of the plane go?
Like, it looks like an oil spot.
Right. It's like how did you guys know that wasn't just a piece of sea garbage? You found out it's a plane. We're going to look for the black box, which we may never find. Oh, that's a good sign. You can never find the black box. Somehow I'm going to pull through on this.
That's a good point about the black box. Why don't they make the black box like neon green?
Yeah, why is it black?
I know. You might as well make it camouflage.
I mean, why does it float too? Why is the black box
should be floating? It should have lights on it and horns.
That's right.
What are they being so secretive about the black box for?
I mean, I feel like it should
be the most obnoxious box.
You're right. It should look like
should be able to see that thing from
fun house.
space.
It should look like a fun house.
Yeah. Black box.
So that's just think about that. Kick that around in the old noggin, guys. Next time you're out and about on an airplane and you feel like getting hammered, maybe not be in the exit row. Here's my real debate. Maybe we should play some imaging music for this, Pat, because we're shifting gears.
I was just about to. I didn't know if we were sticking with.
I saw you going to it. No, it's travel, but that was a good rant right there.
Sure.
That's more of a more kind of situation.
We got to the very end. We really got to the bottom of the whole black box debate too.
I mean, we didn't get to the bottom of it.
Definitely needs to be like tie dye.
We posed some questions to the FAA. Hey, idiots! How
Change the color of the box.
How we don't paint the box black?
Make it way easier to find.
You're just one step above camo box.
Yep.
They're like, hey, we painted it like seaweed because we don't want the Russians finding it. Collusion. Here is my debate. And I want to know where you stand, Pat. Can you bring fast food on an airplane?
Oh, yeah, I saw your tweet about this.
Yeah, I'm very passionate.
I'm kind of personally.
Are you indifferent to it?
No. I'm so constantly concerned about
everybody
upsetting other people and acting somehow inappropriately and well concerned about it. People are always like, why should I care about what other people think? Because we live in a society. That's why.
That's how
because we're all a big group and we work off each other. I would never bring food onto an airplane in general.
Like, I hate people.
Unless everybody's eating and we're all eating the same gross food, so it's all the same gross smell. You got no business bringing food on the plane.
I hate people who do the whole, I don't care what anyone thinks about me. Well, yeah, then why don't you just murder people?
Yeah.
Because the reason we don't murder people is because we're really concerned that the court systems are going to think poorly of us.
I've been on a plane before, and this lady was eating a chicken or an egg salad sandwich. I would have rather been murdered. In that moment, I was so miserable, I would have rather been murdered. She was smacking her lips together. It was all creamy.
In the case, you can just hear it like it's like a horse eating grain. Where it was just terrible. It's just all gummy. Yeah. In the case that someone eats an egg salad sandwich on an airplane, I believe that's the only time. And I got to be honest, after 5 vodka sodas, if you whipped out an egg salad sandwich next to me, I would take it upon myself to open that emergency door and let you go. Bye. Nobody needs you.
Where you'll be like, when I took the oath, I thought that's what you meant.
You guys said, I do whatever I can in an emergency. We got a damn emergency right here.
Disgusting.
This person is eating an egg salad sandwich. Here's why I bring it up. And I saw...
She brought it in a Tupperware, too, so it was like from home.
Oh, my God.
So that was premeditated.
I put that on TSA.
I know.
TSA should be taking food away from people.
No, they don't.
No, you need to be taking egg salad sandwich. Egg salad
had a little container, egg salad sandwich sized and everything.
Okay,
so
listen.
As soon as she opened it, it was just like,
here's a question. So egg is initially a liquid. Okay, it comes out of the eggshell a liquid.
More than 4 ounces in a shell.
You convert it to a solid to put it in sandwich form. Okay, here's my question. Can I freeze liquids and put them in a bottle and be like, this isn't a liquid, this is a solid?
You could cook them.
No, you know what I'm saying, though, right?
Yeah, sure.
Think about the logic behind that. If you can bring an egg salad sandwich to TSA, its initial form is liquid, so I just converted the form. What if I just changed... What if this liquid is explosive and I can somehow convert it into a solid?
So what was it that someone was eating on the plane?
KFC. Get the hell out of here. No, stop it.
What? I mean, how?
Fried chicken.
So
You're an
they're
idiot.
licking their fingers and stuff?
Yeah, sitting next to me.
Ugh.
And here's the thing, it was a meal box.
And then what do you do with the bones?
You got to hand it to the flight attendant who wanted to take one of those bones and stab you right in the neck with it. That's ridiculous. Well, here's the thing.
I can just imagine how frustrated you were, and it makes me laugh.
Also, I was in a middle seat, and I was just pissed off. And the flight was hot, and I was sweating. And I got butt sweat, and then butt sweat's the worst in the middle seat.
Yeah, and then sometimes you get those sores on your cheek.
Yeah, your butt starts to physically hurt. And you have to like pick yourself. You have to shift
get
your
like
weight.
Ingrown hairs on your butt cheek.
This is what it feels like. At one point in time, I went to the bathroom and stood there for 10 minutes just because I needed to stand. And I hate the people who just stand in the aisle and just hover over you with their junk next to your shoulder. Like that's also a pet peeve of mine. I got a lot of these things.
Brian travels a lot.
Appropriate flying. I just don't understand how people suspend manners and common sense when they fly. Like people were like, "Man, I paid for the flight. I'll do whatever. If I want to eat fried chicken and a pizza, I'll turn this thing into a goddamn picnic if I paid for the seat." You're borrowing the seat. You didn't buy the row, you jackass. You bought it. You're borrowing a seat.
And they're so tiny. It's so hard to eat anything on there.
And we're not on the Oregon Trail. It's 2 hours.
I think I've done it. But even so, here's the...
You can bring snacks. Just don't make them smell.
I'm trying to think of a time when I actually ate food on a plane that I brought on the plane with me. But I can't really do it because I think the one time I did, I bought like a breakfast sandwich and thought I was going to be late. So I like threw it in my pocket and started running the plane. And I got there and there was plenty of time for me to stand there and pound the sandwich and then throw it in the trash.
Oh, man, that's a tough one right there. That's a tough one that I'd have to take some more. If you said breakfast sandwich, I'd have to think to myself, like, what company? Now, if we're talking McDonald's, you keep that off the plane.
Mine was, I think it was a Burger King breakfast croissant.
No, sorry, off the
with
plane.
egg, sausage.
Nope.
Anything with egg.
Egg and sausage.
Off.
That combination, sorry, keep it off the plane. Unless you brought 87 breakfast sandwiches, you feel like passing them out. Because now you just turn the whole airplane into a McDonald's
That air's all recycled too, so it just grabs it, sucks it up, and then redistributes it throughout the entire
Now you got
plane.
somebody 19 rows behind you who's like, why the hell do I want to crush a breakfast croissant right now so bad? It's because you were up there and it was just getting sucked into the vents, and now they're just getting breakfast sandwich just rifled into their face to the fans. You cannot eat anything with an odor. I'm sorry. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's your favorite thing in the world. You eat it off the plane. Or
even like, so where do you draw the line? Like, what about like something like trail mix or
trail mix has no smell.
Okay. What about like Chex Mix?
Chex Mix has no smell.
Okay. What about like
no discernible smell? And now, if I'm annoyed by your Chex Mix smell, I'm the one who's rude because I have my nose right in the bag like a horse.
What
trying
about
to eat
something
out of a grain
like
bag.
a flaming hot Dorito?
It's all smell, man.
I think those would be out of bounds because once you start smacking your lips and breathing, you can smell Dorito smell.
No. Because
I would even say by that, I would say energy drinks should be eliminated too because I don't like the way energy drinks smell.
It's not that you don't like it; it's that 9 rows behind you, I can't smell
guess
Red Bull.
True.
And if I'm up in your grill that close to smell the Red Bull, I'm the one who's breaking rules here. I am invading your personal space. Like that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So fried chicken, you're not allowed to do fried chicken. Not allowed to do anything with egg in it. You know, in fact, you're not allowed to do any fast food. No fast food. If it comes in a bag, a greasy bag, eat it outside the airplane.
Yeah. I just
no one's running that late. No one's running that late.
Like, and when you buy that food, what you have to then do is like let it sit in the bag for like 30 minutes while you wait in line.
Just sit in its own
get
juices
checked
and
in
fester.
with your boarding pass. Wait on the like jetway. You know, get on the plane, get to your seat, put your bag down, sit down. You know, wait until everybody's seated in the aisle, and then you eat the sandwich. That's like a good 35 minutes later. Who does that?
Just, you know who does it? The people who say, well, I don't care what anyone thinks. Well, you're an a-hole.
We're living in a society.
And you do care what people think. Okay? Yeah, and that's why we have rules. Okay? If you didn't care what anyone thinks and you just do whatever you want to, you'd be like, I like that car, I'm going to take it. No, I'm going to really think poorly of you after this. So if you say, like, I don't steal and I don't do that stuff, it's not because stealing isn't fun. I've seen movies, man. Stealing's great.
Oh, man, I just watched Den of Thieves the other day. Great.
I saw the movie Widows.
Great
Pretty underrated movie. Underrated movie, Widows.
I was like, I give it like a 60%.
Widows?
I didn't love it.
Did you watch the whole thing?
I need to watch it again because everybody keeps saying that.
Didn't you like that whale of a twist, though?
But it just came too early. Well, let's not blow it for everybody.
I don't want
that's
a spoiler alert that you would literally track me down and kill me. And I care about what people think about me, so I will not do it.
Yeah, don't do it.
So anyways, the verdict is on that, and I'm going to just say it. I'm rendering a verdict. Moot court. Do we have any court music? Moot court. Moot court is in session. I think we do somewhere.
Yeah, hang on.
I am rendering a decision. You cannot bring food that smells on the plane, and that rules out all fast food. Sorry, verdict. made, decision rendered. You are not allowed to. You can bring on things that have no discernible odor, or you know what you can do? Just tough it out.
Yeah.
Man versus wild. You probably can survive from one destination to another. Okay? You can do it.
All right. What do we got?
I know, but we got some other stuff we can cover, man.
Yeah, what do we want? Do we want to do the murder mystery weekend? Do we want to talk about it?
Jussie Smollett.
Jesse Smollett. Sure. That's good.
Jussie
That's
Smollett.
mystery. It's mysterious.
It's light. It's a light topic.
Oh my God, yes.
Potential hate crimes.
From cancer to fake hate crimes.
From cancer to rules on an airplane to, I guess at this point, let's be honest here. The Chicago PD are basically saying, we talked to the people that we brought in who were the only two people in the area identified on a photo, and looks like, Jesse, we need to talk to you, bud, because they're saying you paid them to do this.
Yep.
To orchestrate a fake hate crime that I nailed 3 groups. It was sexuality, with like LGBT stuff, with like calling homophobic slurs.
Race.
It was race, dropping the N-bombs and stuff. And then, and the noose, which is definitely a hate crime. And third one, MAGA country. Now you're bringing in the politics.
And for anybody who's
There's
not
a hat trick.
familiar with the Jesse Smollett
Oh, look at you
story.
resetting a news story like a broadcast professional.
Yeah, I'm hosting this baby.
All right, let's hear what you got.
I'm the captain now.
I am the captain.
So anyways, he's from, what is it? The show.
Boy. Your reset sucks. Empire.
Yeah. Empire. Okay, so he's on the show Empire, and he said that he was out picking up a Subway sandwich at 2 a.m. in Chicago in a kind of affluent neighborhood, and he was attacked, and a hate crime was committed against him.
Yeah, they called all these
They
slurs.
beat him up. They called him all
yelled
these slurs, put a noose around his neck, poured a mystery liquid on him.
a bleach-like substance.
Yeah, something like that.
It just sounds like it's bodega bleach.
I know.
Like it's supposed to be bleach from Mini Mart. Like it's what you buy in the hood when you're like, they're like, this is close. It's
It's Chinese, but I'll take it.
It'll get the
pretty
job
sure. We're
done.
pretty sure it's bleach.
It's bleach enough.
It's either bleach or antifreeze.
I remember when
which
I
is
used to
pretty much
live,
the same
when
thing.
I lived up on 137 to Broadway in Harlem. It's called bodega bleach, man. It's like, it's bleach-like. When they say bleach-like substance, what they're saying is the stuff you got at the corner store.
It'll kill all the
in
same
Harlem.
stuff.
Yeah, it kills it. For the most part, it might clean a little bit. Also, they can't guarantee the consistency bottle to bottle. You get what you get.
So basic, even when they test it, it ends up just being called a mystery substance.
They basically just say like, listen,
It's not even
this
bleach.
bottle is pretty close to bleach. We've seen worse.
So now they found the guys who were apparently
and they're cooperating.
You know,
these
and they're-
Nigerian. I saw
And
Nigerian
one of-
brothers, but now they say they were born in America. They're citizens, which they can also be citizens and be Nigerian. I don't know why I brought that up, but
but they also, one of them was featured on an episode of Empire.
that's right. He was like he was a dude in prison, all jacked, and these guys are jacked.
Yeah. So basically, now what they're wondering is if Jesse Smollett set the whole thing up.
Right. They think that he paid these guys like maybe a sympathy thing. And now I'm seeing some reports that he got a letter that was threatening to the Empire set, and no one really took it, like made it that big a deal. So then I think he upped the ante to like an attack or what. Who knows why? I find a couple things fascinating, and then let's poke holes. Then let's poke some logical holes.
We don't know if this is true or not yet.
we don't.
So we're not passing judgment here.
No,
We're just,
well, I would say this. If he faked it, he's an awful human being, and he deserves all the repercussions that he gets.
Yeah,
because
for
what he
sure.
did was trade in our
he made so
compassion
many
and empathy.
people look like total a-holes,
Well, I
too,
don't-
because so many people were like backing him up, being like, this is an example of why the whole MAGA thing is out of control.
Well, here's the thing. It's I don't want to judge the people who came forward and spoke out because, listen, if someone tells you they were a victim of assault, I'm going to always go ahead and err on the side of believing the person who came forward to confess that or to say that they have been a victim of violent, hateful crime, sexual assault, racism, whatever,
Sure.
homophobic. I'm just going to go ahead. You know what? In my life, being empathetic is more important to me than being like, well, show me the proof. Now, listen, to be honest, when it happened, I said, hey, the Chicago PD needs to jump on this immediately. This needs to be a priority. Because
Yeah, sure. This is a big deal.
It's already kind of odd, you know, like...
And just the tension in racism
Of course,
and
because
all that
of all
stuff
the
that's going on
elements
right
in it.
now.
The race,
Charlottesville and-
homophobia, politics. Now, but you know what? Just for comedic effect, I know it's not funny, but let's just right now work from the angle
I
of...
love this. I love where this is going.
Let's work from the angle of... Let's poke holes in some of the facts that we saw, okay? Now, one, Pat, you brought up one earlier tonight. We were discussing it. Who goes to pick up Subway at 2 in the morning? And you're a rich guy.
I know.
Okay? You don't.
Have you had those sandwiches?
I'm not a rich guy.
They're disgusting.
I'm not a rich guy, and
They're terrible.
I haven't picked up food in 6 months. Like Uber Eats, DoorDash, Postmates, like that's their jam, dude.
Yeah.
And it's negative 30 degrees in Chicago.
I would have been, if I was the cops, instantly questioning him. Like, okay, so wait, you're going to pick up Subway at 2 in the morning?
What sandwich?
I don't know.
Sandwich?
What is it? What is it that's so delicious that you had to have?
What
$5
foot long gets you out of the house?
I know.
What sandwich right now? Let me ask you this, Pat. If it's negative 30 out right now and you need a sandwich, which sounds ridiculous. It's negative 30. Like that's death. That's you're defying death.
Yeah.
To strike you down at
You
negative 30.
get a sandwich that might kill you because it's all like processed.
Right.
Like it's not even meat.
Well, you're gonna risk the short-term death for the long-term potential death.
Yeah.
So okay, what sandwich and what company is the only one that would get you out of your house at 2 in the morning at negative 30? What is that sandwich? What is that company?
I don't think that sandwich exists. And I love sandwiches. I really can't think. Oh,
he's got one now.
Ooh, Langer's Deli in downtown LA. Okay. It's like one of the oldest sandwich shops, but it's basically their Reuben or their the one. It's corned beef and coleslaw.
Is it a French dip type situation?
No, it's a corned beef and coleslaw one.
Okay.
It's really, really delicious.
Oh, man.
But at negative 30, I don't know. At negative 30, I need a different sandwich. I need a hot sandwich, a hotter sandwich than that.
Yeah, you want to clutch it in your
I need
hands
like a
going
cheesesteak or something. I'd have to walk all the way to Philly.
See, here's the thing. I'm not saying you would go. I'm saying what sandwich would be the most, if you had, what would have the best shot of getting you out of here?
If there was a really good cheesesteak place, even maybe Jersey Mike's. Maybe Jersey Mike's.
Jersey Mike's is growing on me.
There's a place called Penn Station that's on the East Coast. It's a sandwich place, and they make a really good teriyaki cheesesteak.
We can't go sandwich snob right now. We got to go like a mainstream sandwich joint. Okay. I know because you could just reference.
Jersey Mike's. Okay, so the Jersey Mike's Chipotle chicken sandwich would be the one that would get me there.
Chipotle chicken. I got chicken.
The Chipotle chicken is so it's a Chipotle chicken cheesesteak.
Okay, that's the one.
Yeah,
I
that's
got
the one.
other day.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
For your
no, it's delicious, and it's a hot sandwich. Like because most sandwiches that I like are cold sandwiches, but if it's negative 30, I'm not eating a cold sandwich.
You need a hot one.
I just walk there. I need a hot sandwich. That would see what kind of sandwich he got, and then you can see if he's lying or not. If he got a cold sandwich, he's full of it. If it's a meatball, maybe.
Okay. I haven't had this sandwich in years. So I'm going to go back in time and say at the time how much I loved it. But it was a Chipotle chicken sandwich from Quiznos.
Yeah, Quiznos.
Bacon had bacon on it too. Because when Quiznos came out, it was the game-changing toasting place.
Yeah.
Big fan.
I remember everybody just being like, "Whoa, they toast!
What the hell, dude?
Oh man,
where did you find that
toasting?
The conveyor
They
belt
took the
toaster.
regular bread and made it toasted."
So then no one does that. So we established that that's ridiculous. If you're the cop, you're like, wait a minute, hold on. You're a famous
Subway?
actor. It's negative 30, and you were going after the Subway Club that just comes packaged with the meat where they just take it out of the paper. I don't think. And where's your sandwich now?
Yeah.
Was
you
it
get
before
the cold
the sandwich?
cut trio at negative 30?
Right. So that
Doubt
one,
it.
Okay. The next one that I do honestly think is a little bit sketchy is after the attack. He said that when the police were like, "Hey, we need your cell phone because we want to see, what happened, where you were talking to who this, who that, like maybe we can get some numbers off it." Because he said that his phone, he was on the phone with his manager, and they were trying to establish a timeline. Also, the cops were just doing their jobs. He didn't want to turn it over. Then he had a bunch of redacted information. And his rationale was, well, I don't want my famous friend's phone contacts getting turned over. Bitch, we're the Chicago Police Department. We will get your famous friends' numbers if we want your famous friends' numbers. If I want John Legend and Chrissy Teigen's phone number, you know what I'm going to do as a Chicago PD? I'm going to get it. I will get the phone number and I will call them personally. I don't need your phone so I can harass them.
I want to have to tell you to watch True Detective Season 1
right.
to figure out what a detective does. But I figure things out. Phone numbers are so easy to find. The other thing, too,
is that if I'm a famous person, right, and
but also, why wouldn't you be helping in the investigation?
Because in the line of logic, you don't want you want to do everything in your power to catch these MAGA monsters who assaulted you, right?
Sure.
So if I'm one of your friends and I'm like, "Oh man, you leaked my phone number when the Chicago PD got my phone," your phone. I'd be like, oh my God, man, it's all good. I'll get a new phone. Did they find these people who assaulted you?
Yeah, sure. Like, the funny part is that famous person would get one unsolicited call and then change their number.
And they tweet about it. Like, I just got harassed by whatever. Also, like, here's the thing. When you are, and I don't know for a fact, but I'm guessing that if I'm in the position of someone who'd been assaulted by some hateful people who could have killed me, that my number one priority is catching them. The inconveniences I'll get past. The inconveniences hang you up when in your mind psychologically you maybe think, I kind of fake this and putting people out like a lot. Oh.
Yeah. No, we're poking holes in the logic. Do you have a number 3?
Number 3 was that the dudes basically just said that he paid him.
Yeah.
And he knows the guys.
Yeah.
And it's like,
that was when the first thing came out, and they're black guys, right? So
yeah,
it's like,
but to be fair, black people can commit hate crimes on black
absolutely.
people.
No, that's not necessarily what I'm suggesting. It's just the noose and stuff like that. Like, it just doesn't make sense.
Well, they had rope and receipts.
They had rope and receipts for rope, and
I mean, it just seemed like it just all seemed way too orchestratedly in your face, and the response seemed tempered. Oh, here's another one that I thought too. I gotta be, and maybe you're gonna think I'm a bad person.
Oh God, I already hate where this is going.
No, I'm just.
I saw
saying.
the look on your face where you were like,
well, it's an awful thought that I had, but I had it a long time ago, and now. And I was mad at myself for having it, but you can't help the bad thoughts that jump in your head. And then now, with it looking more likely, like maybe he orchestrated this, kind of like, man, he didn't look like he got beat up that bad.
Sure.
He had a scrape on his face. And I gotta be honest, if I'm putting a noose around your neck, throwing bleach on you, I'm gonna kick your ass.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just saying, it just looked like if I was orchestrating it I'd
like
tell him to go a little bit harder on me. Because to be fair, I don't even know if I'd go to the hospital for those injuries.
So that's like an argument almost against him having faked it. Because
no,
it's like, well,
no, because the fake is that he didn't, they're his friends. And they're like, dude, they don't want to actually hurt him. They just want to make it look like someone tried to.
Yeah, they probably just socked him once and he was like, oh my God, that hurt.
Jeez,
like,
Louise.
No, there's
anyway,
Bosworth.
So I feel like I just really want, another red flag too is that he's now decided he's not going to talk to the cops, which, I mean, we grew up in a family full of lawyers. Why didn't you talk to the cops?
Yeah, sure.
Because you want to make sure you don't say something stupid that gets you in trouble.
One of those things too, where it's like his behavior so far, like we kind of, have talked about, has seemed guilty. And if you're not guilty, then don't act guilty. Donald Trump, take a note. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Well, whatever. I mean, listen, here's the thing. I never want to believe somebody would fake a crime like this. I never want to believe that. I really don't want this to happen where they find out that Jussie Smollett faked this whole thing for sympathy and to create tension and to push his agenda of not liking somebody who would commit that crime. Let's not be stupid. There are people who would commit that crime, and that's what sucks is that those crimes happen to people, and the next time one does, people are going to say, well, is this like a Jussie Smollett situation?
Well, and it just marginalizes the whole thing. Like,
it does. It takes it. It's why I don't want to say it's why people don't report crimes, because there's a lot of reasons people don't report crimes, but it doesn't help anything.
No, it doesn't. It certainly doesn't.
That's trying to lighten the mood.
I'm trying to lighten the mood. With
hey, man, a good show has ebbs and flows, peaks and valleys, serious and funny.
This is perfect because our iPad has 1% left, too.
Oh, all right, cool. Well, real quick, though, we'll talk about Murder Mystery Weekend. We're going to do that this weekend in Langley, Washington, our hometown. And we're doing a show, too. Pat may be doing the show. He doesn't know yet.
No, I'm doing it.
He's doing it.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
I just don't have any jokes yet.
Breaking news.
We can talk about this on the next episode.
Of course. But I wanted you know what? Next episode, let's talk about your post-chemo surprise party and Murder Mystery Weekend. That's fun stuff to tease. And we'll probably have Jussie Smollett updates. And hopefully I don't have to eat half of what I just said. You never know.
Love it. All right, let's get out of here.
Peace.
I'm done. This episode's done.
Hit it with your elbow.
Finished.
Stop it with your elbow.
Don't call back to my technical difficulties.
Just hit the pedal. If things go wrong, it's just incidental. My bad, never got the memo. That you never have fun while you're in the limo.
I can't believe it.
That Gerald is presenting the quarterly budget report with finger puppets?
Look, here comes a 1.7% decrease in fixed overhead. Hello, everybody.
No, I can't believe how easy it was to save hundreds of dollars on my car insurance with Geico.
Who are you? The projected increase in organic Q3 revenue. Hooray!
Believe it, Geico could save you 15% or more on car insurance.